Uhuru Ruto to sign alliance deal as Raila steps up campaign.
For the time being, tutaanza kusajili watu na kupiga kura katika East Africa region.
Setback for diaspora. Only Kenyans in East Africa may vote. Kenya finishes third in Dubai Rugby Sevens. Our news coverage begins right now with the latest on the new traffic rules, and the enforcement on these new traffic regulations commenced today, which means that anyone now found overlapping, speeding, driving carelessly or drunk driving will be heavily punished for the new by the new regulations. Now this week, PSV operators downed their tools to protest the rules, but the Ministry of Transport says that the new laws are not negotiable. KTN's Eric Njoka went out and about on day one of enforcement and filed the following report.
James Gishuru Road, one of the busiest roads in Nairobi. We have traffic going to and from Nairobi. Being a Saturday, as you can see behind me, that is a lorry already causing obstruction. This is one of the things the traffic police are against, and they are cautioning you. If you have an accident such as that, all you have to do is just call the traffic police officers who come and assess the situation, and that is control, or the car is moved off the road. So the traffic police are cautioning you. If you have an accident, just move your car off the road and clear the road. The new traffic regulations caution you against stopping on such signs as that at a junction like this. What you see here is that people are not giving way. A traffic police officer is supposed to be here manning this traffic. But you, as a driver and as a pedestrian, you should follow the rules. Stop when there's such a sign like that, which means you stop when there are vehicles passing, giving way. That is another cause of obstruction which the traffic police are warning you against. This could land you in jail. That's right. No matter if the rules are punitive and draconian and also violate the principles and tenets of the Constitution, the Transport Ministry has warned and has vowed that the punitive measures will be you pay a fine of $500,000 or stay in jail for 10 years or both.
Polisi kuwekelea watu vitu hawajafanya. Hiyo tu pekee yake, hakuna shida nyingine Kenya. Wakiongea ukweli, sheria ni sawa.
Nazifahamu.
Kama sasa kama hivi.
Na judge ulevi, overlapping. Yeah.
I can now inform you, there is no turning back. We just have to have an orderly society.
The Transport Ministry remains adamant that these rules must be followed. It doesn't matter if you're PSV or your personal vehicle. You just have to adhere to those rules, and you never know, Nairobi could be having free-flowing traffic, and a free day for that matter. American Joker reporting for KTN, Nairobi.
Ministry of Transport saying that they're not going to back down. There has to be law and order. Know the rules before you're caught on the wrong side of the law. To the IEBC matters now, and the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission has announced that it will start registering Kenyans living within the East African community next week. Now, IEBC Chairman Isaac Hassan says that registering Kenyans living outside the region will not be possible owing to logistical nightmares. It is now confirmed that Kenyans living beyond the East African region will not be able to exercise their constitutional right to vote. Isaac Hassan, the chairman of the electoral body, attempted to sugarcoat the announcement that will no doubt generate outrage from those disenfranchised.
This first election is very complicated. There's so much to be done. So for the diaspora, we were asking them to please be realistic, let them understand, badala ya kuanza kutupatia matisho we will sue you, we will go to court. Hakuna haja kuenda kwanza kupigana. Wacha kwanza tufanye kura mzuri hapa Kenya.
House Speaker Kenneth Marende endorsed the decision, saying that it is an acceptable compromise and the centre's IEBC will be able to cover will be enough for now.
Going out to the United States of America, going out to the UK, going out to Australia and other jurisdictions like that is fairly complex. And that you are able to begin is like you are taking a first step. And we are prepared to accept that because we know that next time you will extend and cover the whole diaspora.
Hassan's statement does not come as a surprise given that Cabinet ruled it would be impossible to register Kenyans living abroad. Justice Minister Eugene Wamalwa had also said earlier that a diaspora vote for the coming elections was just too involving logistically.
Kenyans outside the country had a say. We always knew we had a say, but this time it's like we have been denied a chance to make that say clear.
The IEBC now finds itself in an awkward situation, settling on a position they had earlier said would not occur.
The commission is independent. It doesn't take direction from the cabinet or the minister.
Kenyans in the diaspora had issued a threat saying they would sue the IEBC for being disenfranchised. Those in the East African states will, however, be registering to vote soon, as plans to have them do so are currently underway. To matters politics now, and Eldoret North Member of Parliament William Ruto took URP campaigns to the South Rift, where he sought the Kipsigis community's endorsement of the elections deal between his party and Uhuru Kenyatta's TNA. Now, speaking at Kapkatet Stadium in Kericho County, Ruto urged the community to support the alliance and assured his supporters that the TNA-URP pact would be unveiled at Nakuru's Afraha Stadium tomorrow and that it would win the election in the first round. Well, our reporter Sophia Wanuna is in Nakuru and now joins us live with more details of that. Sophia Wanuna, any news about what we should expect tomorrow?
Thank you very much, Edith, and a very good evening to you and to our viewers. We are coming to you live from the heart of Nakuru town. Now, there are 92 days to go to the general election and 2 days to the deadline by which political parties must have submitted, if any, pre-election pacts to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. Now, since the promulgation of the Constitution 2 years ago, the political landscape in the country has changed. And for any particular aspirant seeking the presidency, they must be able to garner 50% plus one of the total votes cast. Now, that is definitely a tall order for any individual aspirant, and that is why in the past couple of weeks, in the past couple of months, we have seen a flurry of activities in the political scene, with politicians talking to their partners in different parties to try to formulate what would be, according to them, a winning team to be able to win that election in the first round. And so far, what we've been able to see, TNA's Uhuru Kenyatta and URP's William Ruto have come together. Of course, Uhuru Kenyatta seeking the presidency with William Ruto as his running mate. Now, that deal that they have struck are expected to officially announce tomorrow in Afraha Stadium is one that, of course, has not been received so well. It has been a hard sell in the Rift Valley region. But, of course, tomorrow, all roads you saw today, there were earlier William Ruto and URP supporters were earlier in Kapkatet yesterday in the 64 Stadium trying to sell this deal to their supporters. And tomorrow, all roads lead here to Nakuru, to Afraha Stadium, where the big rally will be held. TNA's Uhuru Kenyatta will be here as well alongside his supporters. Now, I'm joined here on the streets of Nakuru town by a senior reporter, Aaron Ocheng. Just a quick question for him. Aaron Ocheng, this has been a hard sell, as I mentioned, for especially William Ruto in Rift Valley. Not so much for TNA's Uhuru Kenyatta in the central region. Why is that?
If you remember, 3 days ago, the office of Uhuru Kenyatta issued 2 statements. The first statement was saying that they have a deal with William Ruto, and then just an hour later, they retreated and say that they have not had a deal. This, of course, was coming from William Ruto's side because they didn't exactly know what is entailed in the deal before it came out of the public. But for William Ruto, it is difficult for him to sell his candidature here, the Uhuru candidature here, simply because the Kalenjin community here was expecting that William Ruto will go all the way and vie for the presidency, and they do not understand why he decided to backtrack and be Uhuru Kenyatta's running mate. Many would be asking why not the other way around, and that is what William Ruto has been going around the last 3 days or so, trying to explain to the people of Kalenjin land why he chose to back up Uhuru as his running mate.
All right, and finally, Aaron, before I let you go, why Nakuru? Why are they coming to Afraha Stadium for this major joint rally, of course, following their agreeing on a deal?
Nakuru town, for specific reason. Nakuru is in Rift Valley. Right. But Nakuru, if you know the geography of this area, it has Subukia, Molo. Those are areas that Uhuru Kenyatta draws most of his support from. And also, if you go further to Njoro, the other side, there's also a lot of Kalenjins who live there. So Nakuru is one town where you'll get these two communities in big numbers, and that would actually make it an ideal place for them to come together and sell their candidature here.
All right, thank you very much, Aaron Ocheng. You've heard it from him. Of course, we'll continue analyzing this political pact, pre-election pact by the two candidates. As we said, all roads leading to Afraha Stadium tomorrow, a major rally there. And of course, KTN, we're already here and we'll be bringing you that event live. So do stay with KTN. Back to you, Edith.
Thank you very much, Sophia Wanuna, coming to us from Nakuru with Aaron Ocheng. And of course, as she's mentioned, the KTN team will be bringing you all the details, and not just bringing them to you, they'll be analyzing the situation and telling you how that particular rally may affect the political climate. Well, to more political news, and Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka has rejected a deal between Wiper and ODM that places him second to Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Well, Kalonzo says that he is not ready to play second fiddle to anyone, but he is not ruling out such a possibility. And as Kalonzo blows hot and cold, his team negotiating with the Raila camp is said to have finalized the deal, ready for signing by Monday. However, those opposed to it are threatening to decamp from Wiper and support Kalonzo's rivals.
Having jetted back into the country to a divided house, the Vice President chose Afraha Stadium, Nakuru, during a World AIDS Day meeting to set the record straight on one of his own projects, a pre-election pact between his Wiper party and Prime Minister Raila Odinga's ODM.
For anybody to suggest that I, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, has agreed to be anybody's deputy president is misleading the Kenyan population. I'm not saying it cannot happen, but surely it has not happened.
In his absence, a Wiper ODM technical team had cobbled up a unity pact to be signed by the party's principal's representatives. Kalonzo was slated as Raila's running mate, ODM chairman Henry Kosgei as majority leader, and Wiper Secretary General Mutula Kilonzo is the proposed House Speaker.
People cannot talk to each other. Talk to each other now, because this is your country. And the critical decisions will be coming.
Wiper party sources say the parallel strategy Kalonzo has employed to craft alliances with ODM while pursuing another with the Deputy Prime Minister Musalia Mudavadi has torn the party right in the middle, with party members opposed to a Wiper ODM deal threatening to decamp and support the Uhuru Ruto ticket and could attend a Sunday rally at Nakuru Afraha Stadium for the unveiling of the Uhuru Ruto Pact if their splinter group attended an ODM rally in Mombasa's Tononoka grounds, equally touted to announce the Wiper ODM Unity Pact.
But by 4th of January, that is the day I will announce my running mate. And I suspect 4th of January, I'm telling you, that is the deadline in the law.
To diffuse any speculations on his preferences, it is understood that Kalonzo will be in Nairobi and will not attend any of the Sunday rallies either in Nakuru or Mombasa. Kalonzo's denial of a deal with Raila is an attempt to calm nerves in the Mudavadi circles acted by the perceived ODM Wiper Pact. This follows a Kalonzo-Mudavadi meeting early in the day. The Deputy Prime Minister today held strategy meetings with sources saying he is pursuing the option of going it alone if Kalonzo dumps him for Raila. Mudavadi has equally made advances to knock Kenya presidential aspirant Martha Karua through his strategist Muhisa Kitui. But it is understood Karua rejected the advances. The Sabati MP has also initiated talks with Kenya National Congress presidential aspirant Peter Kenneth in a desperate search for a running mate.
Lakini kama ni miungano ya kukatana mkato nusu na ingine mkate nusu, ile tunasikianga tukisikia serikali ni mkate nusu, mujue tutapata shida ile tumekuwa naye.
But as they flip-flop on the ceiling of parks, the clock ticks with the December 4th deadline only 3 days away. Samogina, KTN Saturday Night.
In Nairobi, police have unearthed a fake money printing syndicate and seized fake notes amounting to 10 million shillings in Kariobangi. One suspect was arrested in the well-coordinated operation by the police following a tip-off by a businessman who had fallen prey to the conman. KTN's Malaki Villa with that story.
To the naked eye, this is Kenyan currency that can be used to transact any business, but in reality, it is fake. The printing of fake banknotes is fast becoming a booming business in the country, with the perpetrators making a kill overnight at the detriment of unsuspecting Kenyans who fall prey to them. This is the architect of the fake money printing syndicate that was unearthed by police today. He was arrested Saturday after Kariobangi police, in conjunction with this business tycoon, set him up.
We managed to recover 10 million Kenya shillings fake notes.
Kulo Aidan Ibrahim was last month conned 1 million shillings by the same man, a painful loss he has never forgotten and one that strengthened his desire to nail him.
Mimi naenda misikiti. Wakati ile mimi narudi wa kijana yangu kushafahamiwa na pesa mbaya.
He offered the conman a second job in which he was to give him a lump sum of 300,000 shillings of genuine notes, which he will use to make 10 million shillings of fake money that would help Aidan expand his business. And today, as he presented the notes and paraphernalia to Kulo Aidan to convince him that the deal was on and kicking, he walked into the hands of police.
Basi bahati mzuri leo saa moja. Siku kama 1 week nakataa. Wakati hasira yangu narudi reverse, narudi chini. Mwenyezi Mungu nafanya kazi, akaleta leo saa moja.
Even though the lacks of this businessman are those fueling the demand for fake money, police are still warning the public to be wary.
Washi wako wengi sana. Karibu kila wiki tunapata ripoti ya washi. Lakini unakuta kuchunguza washi unless ushike mtu namna hii ni ngumu. Sababu mtu mwenyewe ndiye anatuma na simu yake. Mtu mwenyewe ndiye anapewa na apeana mizigo na anaenda. Kurundi kusema sasa pesa ilikuwa fake ni ngumu kuprove.
He will be arraigned in court Monday, December 3rd, 2012. Mala Kivila, KTN Saturday Night.
To matters of health now, and Kenyans today marked World AIDS Day with good news that Kenya is actually making significant strides towards reducing HIV infection and increasing treatment for those living with the virus. Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka led the national celebrations in Nakuru with a call to all Kenyans to know their status. Researchers are also edging closer to curbing the spread of the virus with the launch of a demonstration of how ARVs can be used to prevent HIV infections among discordant couples. KTN's Anso Mwendia reports.
This year saw the discovery of the use of antiretroviral drugs to protect HIV-negative partners of people living with the virus. At the Kenya Medical Research Institute, researchers have embarked on a demonstration of the use of ARVs in discordant relationships where one partner is positive and the other negative.
What do they want? Do they want to take treatment? Does their partner want to take treatment? And we hope to be able to show what's the best way, what's the most equitable and just way to be able to provide this as a service to those who need it.
Professor Bukusi says the demonstration, set to be carried out in Thika and Kisumu, will mimic a typical clinic situation where people seek health services. The demo will offer choices to discordant couples.
What would be their choice? And if they do choose, are they able to be adherent And will they come back to clinic for visits and for follow-up without the kind of rigors we put into clinical trials, where we're the ones who follow them up every month?
Current national guidelines are that people living with HIV start taking ARVs when their immunity, measured using the white blood cell CD4 count, falls below 350. This demo seeks to give ARVs to the HIV-negative partner of those who are not yet eligible for ARVs based on this guideline. Once the positive partner starts ARVs, the negative one will continue with the drugs for 6 months, then stop. Resistance in this case does not arise among uninfected partners. The argument is that giving ARVs to both will neither be economical nor sustainable.
So in most circumstances, if someone is adherent and they're taking their drug, given the efficacy we have seen, we would not be that concerned. The idea would be, once you know that someone is positive, you take them off the drug.
2 out of every 5 new HIV infections in Kenya happen in stable, discordant relationships. Majority of these people, however, do not know their status. At the National AIDS celebrations in Nakuru, the government urged Kenyans to test for HIV.
Let us all come out and be tested in our numbers. The government is looking forward to know how many numbers so that we are able to know how to adequately plan for the future of this country.
Recent scientific evidence indicates that HIV treatment also reduces HIV transmission by 96%. Based on this, the government will review its policies to ensure that this new evidence is put to maximum use to save the lives of our people.
Similar celebrations were held across the country, with each region marking unique milestones. With the effort from scientists seeking to get to zero infections and deaths, and the will from the politicians, the ball is now in the court of every Kenyan to take the first and crucial step of testing for HIV. This way, many of those who find they are HIV positive can be saved from early death using ARVs. Their partners who may be HIV negative will be protected from infection. Babies will be born HIV-free, and consequently, those who propagate stigma will have no reason to discriminate. That way, Kenya can get to zero. Anso Mwendia, KTN Saturday Night.
Well, you're watching KTN Saturday Night. We're just about to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll be talking about bras, and we'll be telling you why the wrong size bra is bad for your health, and that's coming up. Stay with us. Has become the latest host to enhanced transport services with the launch of MV Nancio that will operate the Mbita-Mfangano Island route. Residents of the island who have had to rely on boats for transportation of passengers and goods as well will now experience improved services. Fred Omulo witnessed the beginning of what people are touting as a revolution and filed the following report.
Mbita Ferry Services that operates Lake Victoria ferries today launched the 80 million shilling MV Nancio manufactured in Tanzania. The 500-passenger 15-vehicle vessel comes as a welcome relief to residents of Mfangano Island whose trade with the outside world almost ground to a halt after Kenya Railways operated ferries stopped plying the route.
It would build this island better than it has been, because in terms of the cargo that it will deliver to the island, it will be more. It will be safer, and it will open up the island. Now that the island has roads, more people will come here with vehicles, sell their ware back to Mbita and forth.
MV Nancio will now travel between the mainland town of Mbita and Mfangano Island via Takawiri Island, easing the burgeoning fish trade and transportation bottlenecks that afflicted the region.
Hii ndio feri ya kwanza kuja Mfangano. Manake zile zilikuwa zinakuja, zilikuwa kama zinaleta tu tinga na hizi bidhaa za Kenya Power.
Our fish will now be transported to Mbita easily because we will now be having these vehicles coming here and pick fish here. Like the fruits we are producing on the island, like mangoes and the rest, will now be transported easily.
Primed to travel at a speed of 12 knots across the water mass, the ferry only needs 2 hours to cover the distance between Mbita and Mfangano.
And we are also sure that it shall also improve the transport system within the island, because now those who have vehicles can basically come with their vehicles and transport people within the island. So Mfangano Island will be more accessible because initially we didn't have a car because there was no way it could be brought here.
Also on display was MV Kipepeo that serves as a key tourist ferry, especially around Kisumu City. The launch of MV Nancio is bound to produce a grand boost in intralake trade. Together with MV Kipepeo, the two vessels are also going to touch the leisure industry in the Western tourism circuit. From Mfangano Island in Homa Bay County, I am Fredo Mulo.
Now for other news making headlines, here's the news from the counties.
The Ministry of Public Health and Sanitation, together with the World Health Organization, have launched the first national Bilharzia mass treatment program. The program will be rolled out in 56 districts across the country and targets to eliminate the disease by providing training on prevention measures to over 16 million Kenyans who are at risk of infection. In the Upper East, Chief Justice William Mutunga and Judiciary Chief Registrar Gladys Sholei visited courts in Moyale and Isiolo to familiarize themselves with the challenges in the region. The tour provided locals with an opportunity to air their complaints and give opinions on how to improve service delivery in the judiciary in the region. And finally, residents of Murang'a town are breathing a sigh of relief after Murang'a Water and Sanitation Company launched a bulk water and sanitation project. The project that started in August last year will be completed by January and will help produce more clean water for Murang'a and surrounding areas.
Rift Valley is known for track and field events, but there's a new sport coming up in the region. Students of Florespa Primary School in Kerio Valley are being trained in the Korean martial arts, not only to make them physically fit, but to also build their discipline and confidence. Masi Kandia with that story from Elgeyo Marakwet County.
Athletics has been known to dominate the Kerio Valley as a popular sport. But deep in the heart of the valley in Elgeyo Marakwet County, is a new sport being nurtured, Taekwondo. A Korean sport said to be the world's most popular martial arts in terms of number of practitioners in the 1980s. Now popular among the students in the Kerio Valley.
Martial arts has been an incredible part of my life. I started when I was 5 years old, and it changed my life. It made me who I am. It gave me a sense of discipline and confidence to conquer anything that I experience in the world. So that is exactly what we want to give to the children here. And they have improved not just on their kicking and punching and things like this. This is a small part of Taekwondo. What they have really shown is ability to have discipline and respect. Taekwondo's #1 thing is respect. Respect to your peers, respect to your elders, doesn't matter who. You show respect to those people who deserve.
The program started in mid-July this year. In just 6 months, they look and sound like pros. But the beginning was tough for some of them, and they had to push themselves further to embrace the new sport.
At first, when I started Taekwondo, I thought it was hard. I used to complain, but now I can say I'm able.
12-year-old Abednego Kiplimo too had challenges at first, but now he says he is different. The values instilled in the sport have helped him.
So I felt that I was disciplined and I was not sleeping in class. My discipline was high, and I feel now strong and I am physically fit.
Students following what the instructor does, a sport that may seem violent, but is nothing close to that.
Because we are taught respect, only when you are doing Taekwondo you should do in the dojo. You should not do it outside, because you might hurt others.
In Taekwondo we shout, We give loud shouts. And that's not a sign of scaring people, that's a sign of confidence. And so if you see them doing that and following orders, yes, attention, respect they show with a bow, and they do it, yes sir, ayya. It shows a sense of confidence that you can't get anywhere else.
Sylvia, get up. Even as schools close, the students close school with even better news. They are graduating. 400 of them are moving from white belt category to yellow belt category.
I feel good when I've graduated to yellow belt because I know I learn more about yellow belt.
Their parents watch in anticipation as their children show off their skills. They are here to show their support.
She's really changed physically, spiritually, and academically. All what we have seen in the family is that our daughter has really taken up this lesson seriously, and we are happy because in the long run, being a girl child, at least she has some mechanism that she can also fend for herself in case of any trouble.
Initiated by the Kenya Fluorspar Mining Company and Toronto Champion Center in Canada, the center is registered with the World Taekwondo Federation. Taekwondo commands high standards, and so they are trained to reach these high standards in every aspect of their lives. I have been told that Taekwondo starts with respect and ends with respect. What these children learn here every day has little to do with fighting, but everything to do with respect. Marcy Kandi reporting for KTN Champion Taekwondo Center in Fluorspar, Elgeyo Marakwet County.
Thank you very much, Mercy Kandie. From martial arts to health matters, and more than 80%, that's a huge number of women, wear a bra that is the wrong size for them. What they don't know, or maybe they do know, is that this has an adverse effect on their posture, their chest and shoulder muscles. It can also cause severe scarring, especially of the skin under the breasts. Having the wrong bra can also affect how a woman looks in a particular outfit. Well, in tonight's Healthy You segment, we look at how to identify the correct bra that fits your shape and size.
Few women in Kenya take time to measure their busts before buying a bra. In most cases, it's too intimate an issue, and most just buy a bra that looks like it will fit before moving on to shop for a less embarrassing item. However, knowing your bra size could save you from future health complications such as chronic back and shoulder aches, as well as scarring caused by prolonged use of tight bras. Essentially, the contours of a bra should not be seen through a piece of clothing, be it a dress, blouse or t-shirt. If it does, then most likely the bra is the wrong size.
The breast should not spill out. It should rest exactly on the breast, not spilling the muscles out. Because if it spills out, then that means the cup size is wrong. You are wearing a wrong size.
The back of the bra should also not dig into your skin. It should sit comfortably under your shoulder blades in a straight line.
Anything coming up, that bra means it's loose.
The straps should not dig into your shoulder muscles, but sit comfortably. Just to check, experts say that you should be able to run 2 fingers under the strap with ease. Though it is advised to have your bra size measured by professionals, it can actually be done at home.
For example, this one, under bust, her size is size 32. Because 27 to 28 inches gives us size 32. And then we go to overbust to get the cup size. Her overbust cup size is 87 centimeters. So you come to our chart, you come with a column of size of 32, and then you look for cup size. She was 87. 87 falls under C, so she's at 32C.
The underbreast measurement is the band size. The overbreast measurement is the cup size. The band size increases with every 2 inches and the cup size increases with every 7 centimeters.
People with heavy bust, we have bras to suit them, because you will see somebody with a big bust and then she comes in, she's insisting she wants a padded bra or she wants narrow straps. Actually, narrow straps will not give you the support. That's where you find also they are digging in the muscles because the weight is too much.
The bra band is responsible for providing 80% of the support for your bust. The strap should only do 20% of the work. If the straps are digging into your shoulders, then your shoulders are doing more work than they should, and this results in chronic shoulder pains. Another telltale sign that a bra is the wrong size is that if the mid-band, that is the band between the cups, sit away from your skin. The mid-band should rest comfortably and flat on your sternum, that is between the breasts. All women are advised to find out their bra sizes every 6 months. Bra sizes change with weight loss and gain, in extreme cases menstruation and or use of contraceptives, and not forgetting pregnancy and lactation. Catherine Omwando for Healthy Youth.
World record holder and Olympic champion in 800 meters, David Rudisha has been declared the Kenyan Athlete of the Year for 2012 in what was a colorful award ceremony last night. Pamela Jalimo and Ezekiel Kemboi were also featured in an evening that also saw junior athletes getting recognized for their efforts.
After a successful season in the world of athletics, Kenyan athletes who excelled in various competitions, from the World Junior Championships, Africa Cross Country Championships to the Olympic Games in London, had their finest moment in a lavish award ceremony at a Nairobi hotel. There were 15 awards categories and 38 people to be feted, from coaches to athletes and other outstanding stakeholders. World Junior Champion Faith Chepngetich walked home with 3 awards for an outstanding season, while Julius Yego, the Kenyan javelin thrower who reached the final of the Olympic Games for the very first time, was awarded the Field Events Award. Pamela Jalimo won the Comeback Award after her exploits in the World Indoor Championships in Turkey, while Ezekiel Kemboi was recognized for his Olympic gold medal in 3,000 meters steeplechase.
I particularly salute David Rudisha, whose performance heralded the highlight of the Summer Games by breaking the world record.
We would like our youth to be the lawyers, to be the doctors, to be the financial advisors who advise our athletes, and so that we can retain the benefit of what our athletes are able to do.
But the evening belonged to the freshly minted IAAF World Performer of the Year and Olympic world and record holder in 800 meters, David Rudisha.
I was just coming, the other day from Barcelona after being rewarded as the best performance of the year, and to come here back home and also to be honored as the overall athlete of the year is fantastic.
The Athletics Kenya Awards brought together athletes from all competitive disciplines. These scenes will be replicated in the coming days when Team Kenyan athletes are expected to be feted for their success by different stakeholders.